as I was doing my show, right? As I was doing my show in Chaves in the Kizomba Festival, I realized something. Looking at the public, right? I did more than 1,000 shows in my life, and my crowd usually is diverse, mixed, diverse. Black people, white people, Asian people, etc., etc. And I love this about my reach. But you know, as I was done with my performance and talking with the fans of my music and looking at the people of the festivals, right? I just asked myself, how much do these people spend to go to a Kizomba festival? And because if I look at, for example, let me look at, for example, so that's the festival where I was, right? Kizomba Summer Festival structure. In the beautiful Hotel Casino Chaves, organized by Mandela, my friend. And so how much was a full pass? I don't know. Oh, I cannot see. Oh, was 84 euros. Okay. So full pass VIP plus hotel, 2 nights in the casino. Okay. So look, to get a masterclass, learn some Kizomba moves, get a VIP pass plus a hotel room, you're gonna spend like, let's round it to $100, 100 euros, right? On top of that, so that's 100. On top of that, maybe you're coming from wherever you're coming. So let's say another 100 just to go from, because there were people from Spain, there were people from there were people from everywhere. People from Spain, people from France, people from and Chaves is not far from Spain, but there was a lot of people speaking Spanish. I could hear it, and a lot of people coming from these different places, right? So it was great, DJ Rock. So people spend, let's say, to go to DJ Rock's festival, which is the Like Festival, each people that go there, they're gonna spend like, I would say 200 people, 200 each, right? So great business for those who organize, great for those who like to dance, etc. All this, okay, cool. But what struck me was the amount of non-African people. In 300 people that were there, it was 10 African people. So we are here all the time talking about cultural appropriation, talking about our music, this was that, da, da, da. There's nothing for us, XYZ, right? And I go to a Kizomba festival, and actually it's the same when I go to the Like Festival, when I go to most Kizomba festival. You're gonna have like 30 black people and then 250 white people. Spanish, Portuguese, English, people from Norway, people coming from everywhere that are willing to spend 200 to 300 euros each on this culture that they love. Our culture. They are willing to spend their money, their hard-earned money. And listen, none of them and not all of them are rich. It's just that they are willing to put money, to spend money, to dance to our dances, to listen to our music, to vibe to our vibe. And a lot of them also organize and they respect our culture. But what do? We just complain. Do we organize events? Most of us no. Do we spend the money? Listen, all the people I see in the comments being the protectors of the culture. Yeah, this is our culture. We should. Do you spend 85 euros to go to an event to support your culture? No, because I don't see you. You say it's your culture. You say it's culture. These people are doing cultural appropriation. But these people are each ready to spend 100 euro each for an event. We, most of the time, are trying to get in free in the club and not pay for the drinks and not support our singers, our promoters, the people who are trying to make it happen. Listen, I was having a conversation with Buddy Sadva and he was talking to me about the struggle of just having people pay you the price you want for an event. And most people, they always have a reason for not how they don't want to pay you. When I'm invited in the Kizomba festival and I tell you my price, most of the time they don't discuss. They just say, all right, here's the 50%. You know how much when they listen, me to be hired for anything, you have to send me my 50%. If you want the show to be confirmed and to be in my agenda, you have to pay 50%. You know how when they send me my 50% for a show that happened in June, they sent me my 50% in November last year. Said, okay, this is how much it's gonna cost. All right. The next day I had 50% of that money. Boom, done. And before I go performing, they came to my manager's room, my agent's room, and they gave the other 50%. I did the show, everything went fine, and it was all good. Hotel was paid, trip, first class train tickets, no problem. I got people calling me to do shows in London all the time or to go to Luxembourg, or actually I'll be in Luxembourg next week, Saturday. But I've been having for years people calling me and listen, they want to negotiate the price. They want to explain to me that they're not going to have enough people, X, Y, Z. And I tell them, okay, I'm not going then. Yeah, but leave me alone. I'm lucky to be in the part of the people who don't need to do shows. But for those who need to do shows to pay their rent, it's a struggle all the time because our people don't want to pay us. And our people, listen, you tell them Beyonce is coming, they will pay 300 euros for a ticket. And listen, I understand it's Beyonce. But you tell them that we are doing a show, they're not going to pay more than 30 if it's in a big concert. And if it's in a club, it's going to be 10. They're going to pay 10 and that's it. Not more than that. And you're supposed to make a business out of that. You're supposed to to feed your family from that. You're supposed to have an ecosystem that is healthy out of that. But us, we are not willing to put the money. We are willing to go and put comments. We are willing to go put comments on Instagram and put like, be angry all the time, which is sometimes, yeah, listen, sometimes people are appropriating your culture. Some people are feeding off your culture. Sometimes it happens. But those people, they are loving the culture. They are not appropriating. They don't think they are XYZ. They just love the culture. And they show their love with their money. They show their love by, creating events, spreading the culture further than we ever could spread it ourselves, or we did. And they love it so much that they are willing to pay to see us sing, to see people dance, to learn how to dance. And they're creating beautiful community. They go there with their kids to enjoy our culture. And instead of seeing what is amazing with that and joining the fun, all I see you guys doing is complaining. Oh, it's my culture. Oh, it's my cloth. Oh, it's my this. Oh, it's my braids. Oh, it's... I don't see you putting 100 euros to go see, to support Nelson Freitas or Kaysha or whoever you like. I see people who, they go on YouTube and they rather download your video or put some ad blockers than let you get a few cents. So listen, should we complain sometimes about things that are not right? Yes, of course. But if all you do is just complain and you are not able to also support, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Listen, we all have YouTube channels. You can support us in so many ways. Super chats. Listen, some people send me substantial amount of money to support this show, and they say, hey, listen, some people, they do it on the super chat, and thank you for those who do it. And some people, they just send me the money directly on PayPal or on direct, and they say, listen, I just want to support your show. Here's XXX. Keep on doing what you do. We need voices like yours. Oh, amazing. Like, can I talk about? No. I just support what you do. Congrats. Some people, listen, Julie was here. She has all my albums in CD. She bought them. She didn't download them. She doesn't stream them or just download them from YouTube. She bought them. There's a difference between supporting and talking. There's a difference. And it doesn't mean that we can't talk or complain. It just means that if you're not supporting, then shut up. Don't be in the comments. It's something I tell people all the time. Whenever I put people who are dancing in new ways, urban kids, XYZ, they're in Ukraine, they're in Russia, they're in India, and they are just dancing in a way that you feel is wrong because for you, that's not the way it's danced, right? And maybe they don't look right. They should be black people, whatever. And I post them. I get black people coming to my comments. I get Angolans, Cape Verdeans, coming to my comments and they're like, no, that's not the way you dance kizomba. And why are you posting them? You see, you are sellout, blah, blah, blah. And my answer is always, where are your videos? Where are your videos? Do you see what's happening with something going on? Do you want to do a ratio on how many of my people, the people who know these songs since 2006, or the younger kids of that generation? You want to do a ratio of how many of our people are doing the dance, are supporting, are being like proud of me, reposting, whatever, to the ratio of Koreans, Chinese, Angolan, Russians, Americans, Ukrainians, Kazakhstan, and everybody is seeing it. And they're clapping. And when I post the people dancing, some people, they don't even comment. They don't even put a like. Or if I post somebody, like the other time I post these girls from Korea, and then everybody was there just laughing because, yeah, they were a little stiff in their dancing. But then everybody appeared to put negative comments. And me, I was just like, somebody sent me a private message about, why you post those girls? They don't really know how to, they don't know how to dance or whatever. I was like, because I appreciate the fact that somebody took the time to do a video supporting my art and being inspired by my art. And again, I asked the person, what did you do? Where's your video? Ah, man. I said, yeah, see? Oh, to comment? Yeah, you're here. But to put your money where your mouth is, there's nobody. And don't talk to me, oh yeah, but I'm struggling. I don't give a fuck. Shut up then. You think that all these people who are spending their money because they're obsessed with dancing are rich? No. They're working hard as well. But yeah, they save their money to go support and dance because they love dancing. And you want them to dance in a better way, or to respect your culture, or to learn some stuff about your culture, then be part of the conversation, not of the hates. And yeah, as I was at that festival, and actually I always think that when I go to a festival, because I find it amazing to see how, listen, me, I'm a proponent of cultural mixity. So some people, they want to have their culture and not share it with nobody. I don't understand how they do it in a world where, with the internet, where everybody's inspiring each other. But because I'm from, and I'm rich of my cultural mixity. I was born in Congo from a mother that is half Portuguese and a father that is 100% Bantu Congolese. I was born in Kinshasa. I grew up between Kinshasa, Abidjan, then Brussels and Paris. I lived 32 years in Paris with a complete mixity of people. Speak French, English, Portuguese, Lingala, and a bunch of other tongues. And I've listened to everything. I grew up listening to Pet Shop Boys, Madhouse, Durand, Def Leppard, and as well as Guy, Bobby Brown, R. Kelly, Jay-Z, Pete Rock and CL Smooth, Celia Cruz, Kassav, Patrick Saint-Éloi, Quack, and also K-pop, Zouk Kizomba, Urban Keys, etc., etc., etc. And I believe that because I don't see culture as something that is made to belong, but is something that is made to share. and it's something that it's not a territory, but in a certain way, it is what is a bond between culture, is a bond between the people from a certain place that all have the same us and coutume. But it doesn't mean that it is something that you are not sharing to the people who are welcome in your land. And at the same time, when they come, they maybe bring something to you, right? And when you go to their land, maybe it's different and you learn something else and you bring also something, and it's an exchange. It always has to be an exchange. It's not like I come to take your stuff and do something with it. And then, so that's where it's become a cultural appropriation, right? But a lot of people have this stance of, it's mine and I don't want to share it. And listen, some people have great initiative, and of course it depends from where you are. The conversation is different from a place to another. Us who are born in multicultural cities, we all speak with, and we all use a little bit of the culture of everybody. We use a little bit of Arab slang, a little bit of African slang, a little bit of French slang, a little bit of American English from the New York hip hop that we grew up with. So we all have this mixity originally from how we were born. If you were born in the US, you might think differently because maybe things are more communitary. Like it's more communities that stays between themselves, and it's a different fight out there, right? And if you're in China, or if you're in Japan, where like they don't even mix with nobody, it's just them between them. So it depends where you come from, of course, and your experience will vary. But when I see it from my eyes, I'm just like, if you look at the cover art from my album African Bohemian, it's written there, Métis musique universal. I believe that my culture is meant to be shared with the people who love it. And listen, if they take it, turn it into something else, and spread it into something else, yeah, that's life. And if my people want to keep it original, some of my people want to keep it original and exactly the way it was, it's valid as well. And if some people also take it and turn it into something else, it is valid as well. And if somebody want to gatekeep some things, it is also valid. It just depends how and how do we support it. But it is heartwarming and at the same time heartbreaking when I see that some people, they talk but they don't support, and they don't come. And we were having a conversation with actually a group of the black guys that were there. So it was me, Thomas, Mestre Pichu, etc. And did I say Pichu? Pichu, sorry. And it was a conversation about this feeling of being the blood, the cultural blood of the world, but then not being the one that are profiting from it, which is a common feeling that I hear and I experience about with a lot of black people in different cultures. They feel like they create, but they are not. Yeah, they only get 1% of the revenue from the creation, the dance, the music, etc., etc. There's this feeling of being robbed all the time, and it's a valid feeling. depending on where you come from. And my answer to that, because I had the same conversation with Buddy and Armando Cabral and some other people, my answer to them was, you know, guys, we are in a Kizomba festival where we have a bunch of outsiders of, I don't know if they're outsider, at a point they become insiders of the culture, but we are in a Kizomba festival where a lot of outsiders come to dance and feed off the energy of our creation and enjoy, right? But we do it in a hotel that doesn't belong to us. And maybe we have to adhere to some rules, and maybe we have to only make 30% of the money that's going to be made, because the hotel want to take the lion's share of all the people you bring in, and you have to pay for the hotels. It's not like people come and you get all the money. When people spend 100 on a pass, you still have to pay the hotel. So maybe they give you a special price. Maybe you're going to have, since you are filling a hotel with people, maybe the hotel is going to tell you, okay, instead of paying the room 100, you're going to pay the room 50. But you still have to pay them 50. So if you put 1,000 people in the hotel, you're still going to have to pay 50 times 1,000. And what I was telling to the boys was, well, if we don't own an hotel, it is what it is. And at a point, if every time you guys make X amount, every time you teach, every time you get invited somewhere, if you take that money and you use it to buy shoes or to buy something that says Balenciaga, instead of putting it in our own creators, to put it in an investment fund. Listen, as something I told artists one day, I said, listen, if Kaysha, Nelson Freitas, Judge, Sequat Pedro, listen, Anselmo, Raf, if all the big artists, if we had a fund and we took 30% of all the money we make every year, all of us, and we all took that money and you give it to me that you can trust, and I'm going to invest that money in buying a club, buying a radio station, or just buying shares in clubs, shares in radio stations, shares in hotels. When you come to a hotel, right, and you want to organize a Kizomba festival or a show or just a dinner for your culture, and the director of the hotel looks at you and he's like, oh, who's this guy? And you come and you give your card. Hi, I'm Edward McCullough from XXX whatever capital. And the director of the hotel is like, oh shit, he's the owner of this place. He owns 10% of this place. The conversation is different, my friends. And that's why, listen, this conversation is not about how much money you are giving me. I'm one of the lucky few that can say thank you to you, because you guys are giving me, listen, you guys are streaming my music. You guys are coming to my late show on YouTube. You guys are coming. I'm lucky. That's why I don't complain. I'm just talking about something that is broader. And listen, it's not just for black people, but if you look at a lot of other cultures, and even like, listen, the Kizomba organizers, when they complain to me about the struggle they have with the venues that they want to organize their thing in, I tell them the same thing, which is a business conversation. Maybe it's time for you to invest in your place. And that's what I told the guys, and that's what I told Buddy and them. I was like, guys, if you don't seize the means of production and also the means of spreading, and you don't seize the narrative, you're gonna feel that way, and your feeling is gonna be valid. But the fact that most of you, not all of you, a lot of people do stuff. I'm part of those people, so I'm not gonna say that we don't do shit. But the other 99% who are just in the YouTube comments, if you don't seize the means of production, the means of spreading the awareness, and you don't take control of the narrative, some people will do it for you. And listen, some people might do it in a nefarious way. Some people might do it just because they love your culture. And maybe you're going to feel away because you're going to be like, it's not your place to do it. But at the same time, they're going to do it anyway because they love your culture and they want other people like them to know about it. And then they're going to become leaders. I tell this story all the time. 10 years ago, maybe more than that, I was not in Portugal yet. 12, 13 years ago, I told all the artists, we need to have a YouTube channel for all of us. All of us. And we put our music videos in that channel. And everybody just come to that channel. Those who are big will support those who are small. When those who are small become big, they will support those who were big. And we are all putting our videos in one place, and all the money that is generated from this channel, we have an independent board that decides, and we use the money to fund the next music video of all of us. And the channel is just its own independent stuff that belongs to us all, and the money is redistributed in our concerts, our music videos, etc., etc., etc. And now we have a vessel inside of YouTube. We have our place where we put our interviews, we do content for that place. When we have, you want to do a show like Colors, you do it there. And now we have power because we're all together in one place. I'm explaining this to the artists. I don't know who told me, yeah, but I have more fans than such and such. Why would I give the power to my competition? There we go. I was like, well, because we can compete in the middle of our small market, but in the grand scheme of things, if we are all together in our market, we are bigger. We have an island in the sea instead of being a drop of water. So if we are all together and you guys are the two biggest, and you guys come together, at least in that place where we have all our content, we become more powerful than MTV. So we don't have to beg for MTV, Trace, Channel O, and all these people to play our videos when our videos is in the place where we control. And whenever we want to produce a new artist, we want to bring out a Vanda May, you want to bring out some new artists, and we have some young generations coming, we can bring them in the front of a channel that has 1 million followers. And now we have something. And it never happened because, no, I don't want my video with this guy, or I don't want this, or me, no, I prefer doing the things my way, or blah, blah, blah. So you know what I did? I took all these ideas and I used them in my channel, this channel that you're watching. So you have the Eligio videos, the Sumia videos, the ABG videos, the Isa, Taina, all these things. Ledes, it's all in my channel because in the end, I could only do it with my structure when I wanted to do it with the whole Zouk, Kizomba, Compa industry in one place. 10 years later, our friend Bruno, who comes to Club Shada all the time, our friend Bruno creates Mais Kizomba. And he creates it from just being a fan of music, and he puts videos in his YouTube channel, not knowing how it works exactly, and just as a fan. And one video from Badasha and another one from forgot his name, a few artists blew up. And then all the artists, they all send their videos to Mais Kizomba, so that Mais Kizomba, because they know that that's where the people who love Kizomba are. So they all send their videos to his channel. The channel become popular, so popular that he gets a million subscribers. And then my phone rings. Yo, did you see Mais Kizomba? Say, yeah, that's great. Like, yeah, I know the guy, Bruno, cool. And it's like, this motherfucker is white. I'm like, huh? Yeah, and this is our culture. This is our, why all that? We have to take control. It's like, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. Leave me alone. Because when I told you guys, let's get together and create something for us by us, your answer was, no, I'm too big for, oh, I know, or, hey, yeah, but what if I bring 1 million people? He only has 10,000 people, so I'm gonna bring in my force and I'm gonna bring in my fans. I was like, yeah, that's how it works when you are a family. That's how you work when you are a family. You might be the one that brings the most bread these next 5 years. And thanks to you, everybody's eating. But maybe in 5 years, you break your leg and you cannot do shows anymore. And whoever you fed for 5 years is now big because of that. And instead of looking down upon you, he's going to bring you bread every day by himself, just because of he remembers that you fed him. And he's going to be like, hey, big brother, I know it's going to take you 6 months to get better, but here's some bread. Eat. We got you. Don't worry. We got this. And they're going to push. And when you get back on your feet and you're ready to come back to the game, maybe that kid's going to tell you, hey, listen, I'm invited everywhere. Do you want to come do shows with me everywhere? I'll split my bread with you. Because he's going to remember what you did for him. But when I tell you, let's do this, you all tell me no. True story. But then everybody's calling me. Yo, all these white people are doing Kizomba festivals. We have to do something. And I was like, oh, we have to do something? What do we have to do? We have to take control. We have to. I was like, yeah. But when I told everybody, let's do Zouk festivals. In 2005, I told everybody, let's do Zouk festival before the salsa people take the idea with Zouk and Kizomba. Everybody told me, hey, you are African. Shut up. Like, you are not even Angolan. You're from Congo. You're not even from the West Indies, and we let you in the Zouk, so shut up. That's what people told me in 2005. So I was like, all right, okay, no problem. And now, yeah. Look at all these people explaining to us that we have to unite together. So, listen. At a point, I mean, some of us who are the builders, right? We create those spaces when we can have conversations where we can elevate ourselves, right? When we can talk about things and exchange, get ideas, push each other up. Listen, my little contribution is here. I'm just trying to elevate the minds. Give people ideas so that next time there's some people they want to do something, they might decide to do it together instead of doing it one against the other. And so that they can be strong enough that they don't need to go to somebody else's hotel, that they can invite other people from other culture inside of their culture and not even feel that there's any cultural appropriation because they hold the culture together. So when some people come in, yeah, they're a guest. Hey, welcome. Welcome to our home. The problem right now is because we didn't do the work. Some of us, not me, but let's say we. Because we didn't do the work, we go to these festivals, we go to these shows, we go to these clubs, and we know we are enjoying our culture, but we are hosted by other people. And you don't own the narrative. You don't own the means of production. And you're just a guest in your own culture. But the question is never, I hate people who just want to complain. I like people who ask themselves how we got there. And it's not always, because they're stronger and they took it. No. A lot of times it's because we didn't do the work back in the days. You know how many people are told, buy a microphone, and they were like, nah, I just want to sing. And I told them, I want you to own your masters. I want you to own your destiny. And they're like, no, I just want to have those people pay for me. I say, yeah, but if those people change their mind, they have no reason to change their mind. 10 years later, they change their mind. And now they call me. What should I do? And I tell them, well, there's nothing to do. You have to go back from zero. What? Yeah. You're going to be financially stable and independent. It's going to take you 10 years to create all the catalog to be independent. Are you ready? I'm already 40. So, yeah. So work until you're 50. That's too long. So, well, I worked for 30 years to arrive here. I'm independent. I own my music, all of it, every stream. I'm not complaining about the streams, because when people are complaining, make a million stream and I only make 300 euros, it's because you don't own your masters. So you get paid 10% by your label. I get paid 100% by Kaysha. Why? Because I worked to arrive here and I understand what is the conversation. You know how many artists own their YouTube channels? You don't even know that. Some people have YouTube channels, they don't own that. Or some people have YouTube channels, they don't put nothing there. Look at all these artists. Go look at the artists that are big right now and look at the name of the YouTube channel. What is this channel's name? Kaysha. It's not my label's name. It's not XYZ. It's because I understand that if you want to be significant and have your voice count, you need to own the whole stack. You have to do it the Apple way. You own the whole stack. You own the phone, you own the operating system, and you own the users. If you don't do this, you fucked. And when I was seeing all these dear dancers having these conversations, I was just telling them, guys, you put all your money together and you buy a small place and you start there. A place that you can put only 50 people and you start there. And from there you build. It's going to take years, but in X amount, you're going to arrive to a certain level. A lot of people, they don't want that. Yeah, they prefer go and get 1,000 here, 500 there, because at the same time, listen, life is there. You have kids, you have bills to pay. and you don't want to, take the risks. And then the people from the public who, listen, I'm not blaming them because they don't understand business, but they hear in the comments and they don't do the work either. And listen, 20 years ago, the same people in the public that were complaining that Zouk was not at its place were the same people who were buying blank CDs and copying your albums. And when you were telling them, well, how you expect the culture from the West Indies, the French West Indies, to become big if you rob it? But I don't have the money to buy a 20 euro CDs. I was like, but you have the money to buy the Air Jordans that I see here. So listen, how much is we're talking from a Starbucks. How much is the coffee here? 5 euros? Okay. So if you skip 4 days of Starbucks, you have 20 euros. That album that you're ready to copy, buy it. Because if it's Michael Jackson, you're going to buy the real copy. Listen, copy Michael Jackson and buy Kassav. They should be millionaires. Listen, I'm not saying it's just us. This is all it's, but I want to come to the point of view of what I see when I go to all these events. I see events from people who are sincerely in love with the culture and who are sincerely trying to push it. Grand Marabout, what the fuck? I'm coming to ban you. Who are sincerely, YouTube already banned him. Yeah. Some people who are sincerely pushing the culture because they love the culture, and they will also understand that they are not from the culture, but at a point they become of the culture because they respect it so much, and they try to do everything right, and they try to invite the right people to talk and to teach their people about the culture that they love so much. But the other people who should do something and also become part of the movement, they don't. But they complain. They complain. They love to complain. They love to be part of all these movements and be angry at somebody. They wake up, they go on Twitter, they go on Instagram, they look for something to be angry about so they can comment, have a little bit of adrenaline, a little bit of dopamine. Oh, my comment had 5 likes. Yay. A great day. And what did they do for the culture? They believe they defended it. But in reality, they don't do shit. And it is what it is. Listen. The people are here actually do. We are part of the people who do something. Listen. Most people here we support. Most people we organize. Most people we spread. We try to teach people. All of you guys here. Some of you have YouTube channels. Like, and listen, I like Urban Sweet Spot, for example, have a YouTube channel. I hope everybody is subscribed and go put some views, put some likes, put some super chats. Support the people who are doing something instead of just being angry in the comments. It is important. Because, when you're angry in the comments, you are actually being your attention is on something else other than building. And we have to build. I'm sure that a lot of these Kizomba Festival organizers would love to have some help from people from the culture who would say, listen, you're doing your festival, here's 10,000. I want to give you 10,000 to do the festival, and I want to be part of some of the things, and I would love to have a panel when we talk about Angola, Cape Verde, Guinea, Congo, Haiti, the West Indies, and when we do some panels, I would love to. And here's X. Or hey, I want to organize something. Can I pay you to help me? Or listen, have a YouTube channel when you have the conversations. All these things. I mean, that's just how I feel when I go to these places. And you know, when I feel those things, I'm not sad. I'm just like, for me, I see it. For me, it's beautiful to see all these people who are loving our culture. I love it. I'm like, wow, look at all these people. They are so happy. Look at all these good energy that I find in those places. And you do these shows and you have people telling you, oh, it was so amazing. And you're like, I mean, it was a cool show, but I was not even like full on. And sometimes it's funny, you do a Kizomba festival on a Friday and everybody's like supporting, everybody's like, ah, da, da. And then after that, you go do a show in the heart of your own culture, like in a full black crowd, and they all look at you like this because, yeah, you're not better than me. And you're like, what happened? What happened? The good thing is, I mean, for me, the beautiful thing now is that I'm respected enough in everywhere, inside and outside of the culture, that everywhere I go, I receive the love. But back in the days, listen, I would perform in Portugal and I would be welcomed with open arms. And then I would go perform in France and people would be like, yeah, you're not better than us. And I would be like, damn, I'm going to go live in Portugal. So listen, all this to say that it is important to act more than, being distracted in the comments. It is super important to act. It is important to invest. It is important and you can invest in so many different things. Look, I mean, my YouTube channel generates money, right? So I'm not doing all this for free. But actually, the money from my YouTube channel doesn't come from this show. My money from my YouTube channel comes from my songs. I could sleep right now or watch Netflix and not just come here and talk and spread the little things I know. And I would be fine. I would make probably the same amount of money. But I believe that my part at this stage of my career and the respect that people have for me is to come here and try to elevate the conversation to something else. And, oh, this is my cult. Now, let's elevate a little bit to, okay, what do we do? And have these conversations. And from the fact that most of the people who come one time return, I guess my voice is resonating to some people who enjoy having agreements and disagreements with me and have conversation and discuss and give their opinion and meet in the chat. And some people, listen, some people, they met in the chat here and they worked together and did songs together or did businesses together or whatever. So I believe that I do. That's why you don't see me in the comments. If you see me in the comments, it's usually to say something positive. And you might see me in the comment of artists that are completely unknown, who are just starting. You're going to see me in the comments. Yeah, keep it going. And sometimes these artists reply to me, oh my God, this Kaysha, like, And then they send me a DM. Could we do a song together? And sometimes, or most of the time, I say, yes, of course, let's do it. Because you know what? When Jacob was of this earth, every time I asked him, hey, can we? He was like, yeah, of course, let's do, son. And I was like, wow. Took me 6 months to ask, because I was like, how am I gonna ask him? I asked him to come, music videos, he would just show up. I asked him to sing on Music Warrior, and he just show up, sing, play some guitars. Every time I asked him something, he did. Listen, he didn't need this. Was a guy, was a legend, creator of Zouk, creator of all our careers, because creator of the genre that saved us, legend. And when Lil Me would come and say, hey, can I? I was, yeah, of course, sure, yeah, let's do it. Oh, I still have his last message before he passed, or before he was in the coma, where I said, hey, listen, maybe I'm asking too much, but I would love to have you in my 10th album. I have this track. I would love to have you. And he was like, yeah, but it has to be something new, like not some Zouk. I did this before. Like, has to be something like different, something that I never did. Surprise me. And I was like, oh. And I was thinking of doing an amapiano with him, something different. And sadly, yeah. But that's what he taught me. He taught me that when you get in that position, you have to elevate the others. And that's what I try to do with those sometimes hard conversations. Because for me, the conversations are not against somebody. When I arrive in Ukraine and they don't know how to dance kizomba, and they're all dancing differently, and they call somebody kizomba when it's urban keys, and they call somebody traditional kizomba when it's compa. I don't hold it to them, because I understand that nobody told them. They don't know. They don't have the information. And if they don't have the information, is that we didn't do our job right to give them the information, because there's no place when people can have the information, and people who are yearning for the information don't have it. And nobody says, okay, I'm going to do a channel where I explain everything. Not just the moves, but also the story, who, how, dates, places, how, all these things. So yeah, when I arrive there and I see everybody and I'm like, what's going on here? I'm like, well, the culture is just spreading itself by itself, because the culture is so strong that it's just spreading because people love it. And nobody is there to explain. So people just make up things. And then I go to the other side of the world in Brazil, and I see everybody dancing on Zouk, no, on Kizomba, but they call it Zouk. And they dance Lambada, but they call it Zouk. And you're like, what? But again, I appreciate the fact that my culture has spread its wings so far. And that, yeah, some people might not name it correctly, some people might not, but you know what? They love it. They love it, they respect it, and they are spreading it. And our job here is to be there on the side and put the right words in the right place, name the song right, make people understand what is the difference between Zouk, compa, candy Zouk, ghetto Zouk, urban keys, douceur, merengue, meringue, bachata, rumba, all these, dombolo, rumba, like Have people understand what is the difference. Teach them to understand the difference. Because people are not stupid. It's sometimes just they don't have the information. And if you travel enough, you start realizing it's not just about cultural appropriation. Sometimes it's just that art travels with or without you, especially on the days of the internet. Look at my song, Something Going On. 3.7 billion views on TikTok. And everybody is hashtagging compa when it's not a compa song. Yeah, we add some compa lead on the remix, but the rhythm behind is Candy Zouk. Candy Zouk, which is a mixture of Zouk, Kizomba, and Capverdian music. So when people say compa, yeah, I know they're wrong. But all these people in Brazil and that are just saying, yeah, compa, compa, and it's just spreading, well, it is what it is. And when people ask me, is it compa? I said, yes, a little bit, but it's more complicated than that. But I appreciate the fact that my song is now viewed by soon 4 billion people. And if we appreciate it more and put ourselves more at work, and listen, the people are here listening. I'm not talking to you because I know you guys are working. I know you guys are smart. But the rest of us, the 99%, the others, don't take it for you. The others, well, it would be a different conversation. What are we gonna do?